Say something. I know you already have a million jokes in your head. I just don't even know where to start. How do you feel knowing you literally killed me twice? Not great. Not great. At least good to know Peter Parker didn't tell Spider-Man. Because you are Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, we've been through so much since then. Are you still mad? No. But imagine, for a second, if you will, how fun it was to try to convince you that Peter wasn't up to something. The writers went real far with the identity porn with this one, huh? I don't even... What? Gotta love dramatic irony. I'm gonna pretend what you said made sense. Okay, but also you having a Spider-Man form in the in-between, between life and death, makes so much more sense now. Honestly, I can't believe you didn't realize I was Spider-Man from that. I'm pretty sure they've established a rule that people can't know that you're Spider-Man unless you tell them. That'd be convenient. I think it's a thing. Sure. I'm sorry about all that mean stuff I said about you. Because I'm Spider-Man? Well, come on, you were a CEO! What else was I supposed to think? Okay, I didn't do that. Oh, Doc Ock did that. Elaborate? Doc Ock figured out how to swap our brains. And he took over my body. And I died in his body. Jesus, how many times have you died? I don't know. So, what, he took over your body and decided, what if I had my own company? He did a few things, I guess. He got a PhD. You didn't even get that? Do you know how fucking expensive college is? Okay, so Otto Octavius managed it in your body. That's what was different about you. What? You were acting weird in one of our team-ups, and I couldn't figure out why. That must have been Doc Ock. I guess it's possible. Do you want to be more specific about what time that was? No, the person making that video has no brain power to describe what the hell happened during that team-up. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of crazy, though. You just died and came back the CEO of your own company? More or less. To be honest, that explains a lot. Thanks. You're welcome, baby boy. Oh, I see that nickname is still a thing. Oh, the people are obsessed with it. It's never going away.
Ready for number 2? Yeah. Number 2 is kind of a hint to number 3. Okay. Boy. So much paper. What is going on? What did you do? What did you do? You ready for it? I guess so. The box doesn't actually matter. It's just a way of holding things. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking. I got you at Alpine and a soldier sweater that I made. I love you. Oh my god. This is incredible. And then I did the sewing because if the colors faded, I still wanted the image to be there. Yeah. Oh my god. I love it. It hopefully shouldn't fade too much, but you might get sparkles everywhere. And oh my god. Because, like, whenever I've looked at so many Bucky hoodies on Etsy and stuff, but a lot of them are, like, really, like, the arm is really light and this is really bright and it just kind of, like, doesn't feel my body. I like this a lot. Because the colors match with the fabric.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel like it's like jarring, you know? Which like it makes sense for Bucky's design, but it's like I don't want to wear that. Mm-hmm. No, this I like. I really like. Oh my god. You're insane.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
I love it. You got me Alpine.
I did.
Oh my god. Buck, what are you doing? Eating breakfast? No, I meant with Eddie. What do you mean? He just came out to us like a week ago, and you're just trying to set him up with a bunch of dates? Yeah? Trying to help him out. And what about your crush on him? What about it? Why are you trying to set him up with someone else instead of asking him out yourself? What? You like him? He's queer. Ask him out. I will. What, after the sixth guy he goes on a date with? Well, not six. Why is there any amount of number of guys he has to go on a date with before you ask him out? Because I don't want to be his first, I want to be his last. What? Okay, I think I get what you're saying about the wanting to be his last, but what is this? What? Well, come on. Is this some weird lack of experience thing? Because, look, I know you have been through like half the city. That was a long time ago. Uh-huh. But like, you were a baby gay like 3 seconds ago. You've only dated a Tommy. Yeah. Look how that worked out. That Tommy sucked. I thought you were friends with him. I don't know what gave you that impression, given the fact that we had not spoken since he left. Well, until the whole thing with the helicopter. Okay. So what is it? Do you not I just don't get it. Like he's literally been married before, Buck, to a woman. Okay. Okay. Back up. What? Because he hasn't been with a guy before, you don't want to date him? No, I just don't want to be his first. You don't want to show him the ropes? I don't understand. Well, because then I won't be his last. Huh? Isn't that how it works? What on earth are you saying? Well, that's why Tommy broke up with me. He said he was my first, not my last. Tommy sucked, Buck. Dean? Oh my god, Cass! What happened? You tell me, Cass. I don't understand. I'm the one who doesn't recognize where we are, or how I got here. You seem to be more coherent than I am. We're in a hospital, Cass. Why? See, that's where I need you to fill in some blanks for me. You just passed out. And you hit your head, too. How's that concussion feeling? My head feels fine. Probably the painkillers they have you on. Why did I pass out? Well, according to the doc, you're dehydrated and malnourished. So, what's been going on, buddy? Nothing. Nothing, right. I buy that. Cass, have you been sick and not telling me? God, we have so many things to talk about. I don't think I've been sick. Are the usual aches and pains on the daily not normal for you humans? Usual what now? You know, the pain in my stomach and the dryness in my mouth and throat. You know, that discomfort. And the weird noises my stomach makes. What is that about? The noises your stomach makes when it's hungry? Is that what that is? Yeah, and the pain is also probably because you're... Cass, have you not been eating or drinking water? Of course I have. I know that humans need sustenance to survive. Uh-huh. When's the last time you ate or drank? What day is it? Cass, buddy. What?
You know, I think a lot of the villains that I've dealt with could technically be considered furries. Okay. Isn't that kind of strange? How have you not put together that up until this point, like, almost all of the villains you face are animal themed in some capacity? Okay, I realize that, but, like, doesn't that technically make them... Do you have any room to talk, Spidey? Well, like, also, of, like, all the things to weird you out, are you really one of those people that thinks furries are weird? You went on a date with a succubus. I mean, come on. That was literally your fault. You didn't tell me she was a succubus. Well, I didn't know for sure. It was Shikla's cousin. Of course she... Okay. You know what? My bad. I guess you're right.
You said you wanted me to go first. Yes. Okay. I don't know if I should be scared.
I don't think so.
Is there an order?
No, I would open that one first. But otherwise, kind of do whatever.
Okay.
Do whatever you want. So that's the scarf my grandma knit.
It's very soft.
Yeah, so I have a matching one.
I love that. I love how both of us just kind of got like semi-matching things from our family.
Yeah. I annotated it. I finished it 2 days ago.
I love it. I am so excited to read this
yeah.
and see all the annotations.
Yeah. So that's why I like speed finished Godslayers.
So you can actually get through Gearbreakers and know everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be working on. I've kind of started annotating Godslayers too. But
Godslayers is fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
Thank you, love. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited to read all of the thoughts because I know how you annotate.
Yeah. A lot of ridiculousness.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Can't get it out. Human flaw. Okay. You're a dork.
We have matching necklaces and bracelets. And you wear rings all the time.
I do. It's so
I hope it
fits.
Too. Yeah, I hope it fits. It's a little pinky promise. See? Does it fit?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it fits on my middle finger better than my ring fingers. That's good.
Well, I already have ring on my ring finger.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Mine's a little too big, so I had to get a thing.
Get a little adjuster there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I'm leaving the big one for last. I'm a little scared for it.
You shouldn't be.
I'm scared for all of them.
You know what it is.
Oh, is that just the PJ set?
Yeah.
Okay, then I know what it is.
This one's the one I'm most excited for, to be honest.
It's a little box.
I also hope it fits.
Now the question is, how the fuck do I open it?
Here you can go.
Oh my god. This is
sunflowers.
Yeah.
Also, before we were together, I said that I would get you flowers and chocolate if you did that LIT thing. And then I never got you flowers or chocolate. So,
this is so pretty. And it fits with the suns.
Right? Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute. I will not take it off. I might for the bar because I don't want to lose it since we just got it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with this one. Because I'm like, the other ones, if I lose them, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a gift. Because every ring that I have right now is one that I bought myself. There's moth.
There's more beneath.
I know. That's so cute. So cute.
Yeah.
I'm dropping them.
I saw.
They're little muffins.
Well, and the to the moon and back thing felt fitting, especially with us being long distance.
It does.
Yeah. So.
Love that.
And moths, because it's you. Of
Yeah.
course. So.
Love that.
Mhm.
Thank you, love.
Mhm.
And that one should be for your bags.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fine.
Good. Because I was like, you ain't giving that one back. That one's gotta be for you to keep.
No, the point was to have matching things.
Exactly.
Same thing with this.
Hell yeah.
They're super comfy.
I believe it.
Yeah, and I have mine here too, so.
Perfect. We wear them tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Love it. Thank you, darling. You ready for yours?
I'm kind of scared, but.
That are
Yep.
numbered?
Yep.
I'll give them to you in order.
Okay.
Okay. So one.
Okay. My goodness.
Just rip the paper.
I know. Nice again.
Magic.
That looks so fun.
And
Okay.
it's one that we can kind of do anywhere, right? So,
Okay. That's fun. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm excited to do that.
so it's kind of something for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Ready for number two?
Yeah.
Number two is kind of a hit to number three.
Okay.
Boy.
So much paper. What is going on? What did you do? What did you do?
You ready for it?
I guess so. Okay.
The box doesn't actually matter. It's just
Yeah.
a way of holding things.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking.
I got you a fine and winter soldier sweater that I made.
I love you. Oh my god. This is incredible.
And then I did the sewing because I didn't, if the colors faded, I still wanted the image to be there.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love it.
It hopefully shouldn't fade too much, but
Yeah.
you might get sparkles everywhere.
And oh my god, because like whenever I've looked at so many Bucky hoodies on Etsy and stuff, but a lot of them are like really, like the arm is really light and this is really bright and it just kind of is like doesn't feel my vibe. I like this a lot.
Because
Yeah.
the colors match with the fabric.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it doesn't feel like it's like jarring, you know? Which like it makes sense for Bucky's design, but it's like I don't want to wear that.
Mm-hmm.
No, this I like. I really like. Oh my god. You're insane.
Yes.
I love you.
I love
I
you.
love it. And you got me Alpine.
I did.
Oh my god. Because at Calgary Expo and Edmonton Expo, we walked around looking for a white cat stuffy so I could have Alpine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So I got you Alpine.
To be honest, this is what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a hoodie that you like painted.
Yes.
I was like, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be a hoodie.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be a bleach painted one though.
Technically, it is bleach painted underneath. It's just like actual paint on top because colors.
Yeah. No, because
Like
I
it's
just
bleached but painted on top here, and then like same for this and like a lot of those areas to make it lighter and easier to paint on.
Yeah, because when you said you hadn't done something like it in a while, and then when you also said that I can't yell at you for what you got me for Christmas, when I said that I wanted a Spider-Man hoodie, I was like, it's probably gonna be a hoodie. And I remember when we first met, you offered to do a painted hoodie for me. Anyway,
I debated doing the wings, but then I was like, no, Winter Soldier.
No, this makes no, this is incredible. You're insane, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, I'm home from Saskatchewan, so that means I could finally work on my AO3 data slideshow. So this should be fun, getting all the data from my spreadsheets and putting it into a PowerPoint. I've never done this before. I have no idea how long it'll take, but stay tuned for this insane word count and other data that I'm going to be getting from this. I don't know. I'm very tired and I miss my partner, but I haven't worked on anything for videos in almost a week, so throwing myself right back into it, because that's healthy. Yeah. Tracker coming soon. Also, cry count. I haven't done it yet. The count for how many times I've called Jasper gay. I know the number, just haven't posted about it. And that Q&A for YouTube that I promised, that I still haven't filmed yet. I have everything written down, all the questions, everything. Just haven't filmed it yet. So, got a few things coming. Hopefully soon.
You ready to talk about it? Talk about what? Whatever made you show up unannounced to play with Gian? Am I not allowed to just come over and hang out with my niece? You are. Usually you call. Oh, come on. You and Chimney get a night off. Yes, thank you. It was very nice of you to do that, Buck. Now tell me, what's happening? Buck, if you're not gonna tell me, you should probably tell someone, okay? Have you talked to Eddie? I don't know. I can't talk to Eddie. Why? It's complicated. Did you guys get in a fight? Like, what's... Come on, Buck. No. But I think I'm in love with him. Oh, thank God. What? Honestly, whew, it was taking you so long to figure that out, I thought I was gonna have to tell you. What are you talking about? And like, oh my God, I couldn't tell anyone else because I didn't think it was fair for everyone else to be in on it, except for you. But honestly, everyone else has probably figured it out too. What do you mean? I just figured this out now. I know. I've been waiting for you to figure it out for a while. How? What? Do you want me to make you a list? Because... Oh my God, Buck.
There you guys are. What took you so long? None of your business. Why'd you call us? Mm-hmm. What, Tony? Your pants are on inside out, Cap. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't notice. Right. I'm sure. Okay, I wanted to know when you would notice. Mm-hmm. I hate you. Damn, okay, I guess we'll never do that again. That's not what I said. I'm sorry. No, you're not. No, I'm not. What, Tony? No, please. Keep going. This is better than a soap opera. actually hate me. This is rude. Listen. Okay, listen. I can speak. I'm tired. For anyone comments, I have struggled with acne for years, and if you go back to my videos from about, like, mid-2023-ish, you'll see just how much it was, because it was to the point that I got put on antibiotics. A little antibiotic called minocycline, which apparently is also used to treat chlamydia. They didn't tell me anything about it. They just put me on it for 2 months, and then, oh, bam, acne went away. They gave me other things, but, you know, then they just stopped prescribing it after the second month and didn't say anything about it, and then I started breaking out again, and I was like, hey, what's happening? Can I go back on this? And they're like, no, you're not supposed to be on it for too long. It's bad for you. And I was like, okay, so, like, why the fuck am I breaking out? And they're like, oh, well, you have to have a consistent routine. You have to be using the cream we gave you and washing your face daily. And I'm like, I have been doing that, actually. Anyway, so then they put me back on it for just one other month. And afterwards, I just kind of had to figure it out because they wrote me into $700 worth of procedures that didn't help. And I don't have $700 to spend every 2 months on procedures for my skin that only work because I keep getting them. That's ridiculous. But for the most part, I figured out things that help. Now, that does require being consistent with it. I forgot to do one of the things, which is eating Brazil nuts. Apparently, 1 or 2 of those are good for hormone regulation. I can speak. Yes. I forgot to do that today. And then drinking dandelion tea every night is good for just in general, good for you, and it helps with acne. And I didn't do that 3 separate nights when I was staying with my partner. That'll happen. The first night was because it was New Year's. The other 2, I was distracted, and then, or I just, like, I forgot, I was distracted, or I wanted to sleep. Kind of a mix of those 3 things. And some nights I just straight up didn't wash my face, which, like, that's on me. But I've been back for a couple days now. I've washed my face every night. I've drank my tea every night. What the fuck, bro? This is rude. Why is my forehead just breaking out? What did I do? I hate it here. I just want... What the fuck? I can breathe wrong and my skin breaks out. It's so annoying. Why? Part of it might be because I went back to work and I consistently find, because I work in a mall, that my hair suddenly gets so fucking greasy. And my skin gets very oily. So it might be that. But I hate that. Because what am I supposed to do about that? Suffer. Anyway, I literally don't know what to do. There isn't a whole lot I can do, I don't think, but it's annoying. So I'm ranting about it because literally I just won the lottery on my skin breaking out for the most random as fuck reasons. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. Have a breakout, why don't you? I didn't mind when it was like, oh, I'm visiting my partner. I'm doing other things, and I forget.
I don't mind when it's that, but this is ridiculous. Can you just be normal? Can you just be normal? Listen, I know that it's been a minute since I posted this, and I'm actually working on my AO3 Wrapped now, because it's 2025 now, what the fuck. But I really meant to respond to comments along these lines, which I did, but I wanted to respond to it in a video. Like, no, guys. I was working 2 jobs, I was in school, I was reading, I was making videos, I was, like, no, I didn't sleep. Yeah, no, and I, started dating my partner. No, I don't sleep. I do, but I don't. I have an atrocious sleep schedule, and it's like a thing that I'm known for, to the point that, I have been used as a verb. People have said I'm pulling a Comet to, say that they were up until an ungodly hour of the night doing something. God knows what. I don't know. But, you know, like, I know that people do say it when they're up late studying or up late reading, pulling a Comet, because I am up until weird hours of the night for all kinds of reasons, and people are always like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know, man. Reading? Watching a show? Probably one of those 2 things. Sometimes I'm filming videos. I do stay up late filming videos sometimes. That's about it. I'm not very interesting. Sometimes I go out. Generally, that's not what's happening. Honestly, to be honest, sometimes I go out and then I get home at like midnight or 1, and then I proceed to read fanfiction until like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. You know, or guys, if you go through a lot of my videos, like the video of me reading my fanfic Google Doc, where I'm talking about my thoughts on my fanfics, and I just like list all the times that I was up till, and I'm like, wow, oh boy, what the fuck was I doing? Or there was, you know, if you look at my 911 playlist, you see that I was up until 8 in the morning just watching season 1 that one time for funsies. Like I said, no, I don't sleep. It's not great. My circadian rhythm, a total shit show. Ask my partner, okay? Like, we've discussed this. Is like, you know, in a partnership, there is the partner that is always that is going to bed early, and then there's the partner that's up until weird hours of the night. That's me. My partner falls asleep before me consistently. He's just like, do your own thing. Like, the good news is that he is not a light sleeper, so he's just like, yeah, do your thing. You know, you don't just work on whatever, wander around, make noise. I'll be fine. I'll be dead to the world. It'll be fine. Thank God. But yeah, no. Sleep. I do sleep in occasionally, but that was aggressive. No, when I was in school and working 2 jobs, no, it wasn't. Like, guys, in August of 2024, I shit you not, I'm pretty sure I worked 16 days in a row. Like, I remember saying, so there's 31 days in August. I was scheduled to work 26 of them. I called in to one of those shifts. So, what was that, like 5 days? Yeah, I had 6 days off in all of August. So, I didn't read a lot of fanfiction then, as I'm finding out from my spreadsheet. I still read more fanfiction in August than I did in September somehow, but, September I turned 20. I was working for the first 2 weeks of September, and then I turned 20. And then I went to a Comic-Con, and then I went to Saskatchewan to be with my partner. So I wasn't reading a lot of fanfiction then. And then that was my September. So I still managed to read over 100,000 words of fanfiction, but And again, during this entire year, I read 92 books. So yeah, my partner has no reason to be worried about whether or not I'll cheat on them for several reasons. But again, when the fuck would I do it? I don't do things. I sit in my room, make videos, watch shows, or read. Whether it's fan fiction or books, I'm just consuming media, essentially. Or creating stuff. Just in my room. Sometimes I sit outside and read. That does happen. If it's not below freezing out. No, actually, if it's warmer than, 18 degrees Celsius. Either way. Anyway, overall point of this video, no, I don't sleep. I don't sleep, and then I sleep for 12 hours. It's a circadian rhythm. I don't know who she is. I wonder why my skin is struggling. I don't know what a sleep schedule is. I have not known what a sleep schedule is, my entire life. One time when I was in 3rd grade, my teacher sent me home because I was tired. She consistently was worried about me for being tired, which, to be fair, undiagnosed and untreated ADHD, I was pretty consistently understimulated when I was in class, so I was, ready to nap. But, either way, I was up until weird hours of the night and had trouble waking up. That is, and when I was in grade 10, especially, oh my god, I developed my caffeine, legitimate caffeine addiction. I developed that when I was 15, because I had a lot of issues with sleeping at that point in my life, that I'm not gonna fully get into, but essentially I was scared to sleep, so I just consumed a lot of caffeine. Some people from who knew me in high school may recall the times that I made coffee for myself at 2 a.m. Because I was like, nah, I'ma just be a chaotic little gremlin. I'm suffering for it at 20 years old. Oh well. I'm hilarious, so, it's fine. That is the longest I've talked without pausing, at least in a video for a while. If you stuck around this long, thank you. I have literally no idea what the fuck I said in this video. It is 1 a.m. My meds are definitely wearing off. So, moral of whatever this video was, conclusion of whatever this video was, more likely, no. Sleep, at least a consistent sleep schedule is non-existent. I will not sleep for, a while, or not sleep nearly enough, and then sleep a lot, is essentially what my sleep schedule is. It's not good. I'm aware. It's been a consistent discussion I've had with my doctors. They don't know what to do. We've tried things. Me and my therapist have tried things. Psychiatrists have tried things. My doctors have tried things. We haven't figured it out. It's just where I'm at. Okay, wait. What? So we're not the opposite gender, right? And we're not the same gender. Yes. We're gender adjacent. Yes. Spidey. Deadpool. You haven't said a word about the dress. Okay. Why? Why would I? Usually people say at least something. At least acknowledge that it's there. Huh? Like, even when I brought it up. You didn't even acknowledge it. We had other things to worry about. Like, Hit Monkey? The Hitman? That's a monkey? Well, yes. And, like, of all of the things for you to do, for you to show up wearing, you really think I'm concerned about a dress? You stole my costume and faked my death. Like, hours later. Okay, but, like, stealing your suit and wearing a dress are, like, different things. They are, but, like, again, of all the things you could do, why would that be something I care about? I knew I loved you. What? You know, in this biz where all of us are wearing spandex suits, a lot of you are still worried about your made-up gender norms. Right. I appreciate that it doesn't bother you. Random Comet lore drop. I know how to moonwalk because when I was in 7th grade, I was in a dance where at the end of it, we moonwalked off stage. We flossed and then we moonwalked off stage. The dance was called Funky Fresh. Alright, I'm here. What did you want to tell me? Okay. I'm telling you this because I trust you. I'm honored. Now, spill. And also because you know my identity, you might as well know this. Got it? I'm trans. Yeah? What? That's all you gotta say? He, him pronouns? Yes. Okay. That's it? No questions? Not really. I mean, you know I'm trans too, right? What? Yeah, that's like common knowledge. I'm genderqueer. Who gives a fuck? What? Wait, what? Gender's a social construct, baby. I'm beyond it. Wait, have I been misgendering you? No. I don't think it's really possible to misgender me. I don't really give a fuck. I thought everyone knew this. How did you not know? You never said anything. Again, if you look me up, it comes up pretty quickly. I don't really spend a lot of time Googling you, Wade. Damn, you're missing out on some fun stories. Why don't... Wait, so that's all you wanted to tell me? Oh. But did you know? I got a vibe. Plus the person making this is trans, so like, it was gonna come up eventually. Also, I'm kind of literally a mercenary. Studying people is my job. You never figured out who I was? Again. It's the unspoken rule, you have to tell people you're Spider-Man. I can't figure it out. Laws of the universe. Right. Can't believe you didn't know. I feel like trans people usually have a sixth sense for this. Honestly, I don't even question anything about anything. Did you know I was pan, too? You're pansexual? What do you think me hitting on everything that moves has been? A joke? What's the joke, Spidey? That my attraction is just anything with a pulse? You've seen my face, right? I can't even afford to be picky if I wanted to. That's not really how sexuality works. Fair point. I think it was kind of mercy on me that I ended up pan, to be honest. Guess I don't have to hide that I'm bisexual either. You thought you were hiding that? Oh, come on! Listen, in large part, I was talking about things that I had personally witnessed when I was, like, in the Supernatural fandom when it was actively coming out. So, I didn't even think about the Mishapocalypse, because I found out about the Mishapocalypse, like, after the show ended, I'm pretty sure. Because I was 8 when the Mishapocalypse happened, or at least the first one. The second one with Berkeley getting gaslit by Misha Collins for, I think it was 57 days is what she said. I was on the peripheries of that, but Yeah. I wasn't active enough in the fandom in 2022. Yeah, that was when I got back into Percy Jackson. I was also graduating high school, so I wasn't really active in a lot of fandom spaces at that point, but oh my god, the characters finding out about the Misha apocalypse would be actually very silly. Yeah. Also, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, hope I gave someone a crisis about the fact that I'm 20 years old and I was 8 when the Misha apocalypse happened. Because I am exactly a year older than Supernatural. As I like to state often, September 13th, 2004, and September 13th, 2005 is when Supernatural came out. The show was made for me, clearly. You know, my Stucky fixation feels like it was so long ago, especially having gone through a few fixations in the last couple months. So going through my AO3 stats, it's very interesting to find out that of the 418 fanfics I read, I believe? Nope. 427? Yep, 427. 255 of them were Stucky. And then 119 of them were Buddy. Now, keep in mind, this is solely fics that I've finished this year. There are plenty that I started and didn't finish. So, who knows? There's actually quite a few Destiel and Spidey Pool fics that I started that I never finished. Which may also contribute to the fact that this feels like it's not accurate. But I guess, no, I was still pretty actively reading Stucky fanfiction right up until I got into 911. And I still would revisit old fics here and there after getting into 911, so, like, it makes sense. But especially in the last couple months, having cycled through a few different fandoms and reading for a few different ships, it's interesting that more than half of them were Stucky.
Eddie hates Tommy. Apparently. What? Eddie hates someone Buck's dating. Fork found in kitchen. I'm not wrong. You're not. God, somebody's just gotta tell him.
I know that I asked a clarifying question to, like, figure out how to do this, but I'll just yap about it, and then maybe you'll be convinced, because that's pretty much how I do it anyway. Okay, so, what I love about 911 is it's so fucking insane. Also, I love the queer rep in it, okay? Listen, like, first episode has just a married man, mind you, a man married to a woman coming out to his children and being like, I'm gay. He realized after all this time, after he literally married a woman, had children, that he's gay. Also, one of the firefighters is a lesbian. That is literally the thing that got me to start watching the show, was the fact that one of the firefighters was a lesbian. She's a paramedic, and she has a wife who is a rocket scientist, and they have a child. It's incredible. And then you have the homoerotic best friends, like, relationship between the two male best friends, Buck and Eddie, that you just sit and watch and question your sanity the entire time. Also, all the characters are so fucked up. They're so fucked up. One thing that I really enjoy that they do is they show that these people can do bad things, but they also are fully capable of growing and learning and finding their way to be a good or better person. They do that with a Bobby who canonically has, like, an addiction problem that I'm not going to spoil what ends up happening as a result of it, but it's, like, earth-shattering, life-ruining type of thing, and he was able to find, like, make a life after that and find his own way to love and happiness afterwards. Plus, one thing I fucking love about this show, the men cry. They cry. They fucking sob. Okay? I need you to understand. They go through so many traumatic things. And literally, I think it's the 5th episode of the first season, you have a grown-ass man, the fire captain, Bobby Nash, who is in his 50s, sob. Just say help and just break the fuck down and then get comforted by two different people. Like, they just hold him and he sobs. Okay? Men cry. I love shows and movies where men cry because men deserve to cry, okay? I cry so much I have a tally on my phone for all the times that I've cried. I think I've cried, last year I think I cried 92 times, and this year I'm at like 60 something. I could be wrong, but, you know. Point is I cry a lot, and I think that people, like, it's good to cry. It's okay to cry, and I think it's especially hard for men to cry, and it's very much, like, not common to see media where men cry. Like, one of my favorite Bucky Barnes scenes in the entire fucking MCU, actually probably my actual favorite scene of Bucky, is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when they test his trigger words to see if they'll actually, like, activate the Winter Soldier after all the time of trying to, like, deprogram him, and he is just sobbing, just sitting there sobbing, saying it's not gonna work. And when they, like, they're just saying them, and he's just sitting there sobbing, and then when it doesn't work, and she says, "You're free," he is still just sitting there, like, tears streaming down his face. He's losing his mind. It is a beautiful performance from Sebastian Stan, and it's just a really good fucking scene to see a man cry like that. And what makes it even better is the fact that this is, again, World War II veteran, and the former Winter Soldier. Like, that is the, like, last person that you would think would be okay with crying and would have a scene where he's crying the way that he does. Like, it makes sense that he would, but at the same time, you don't think that you would see a scene of him doing that. Anyway, back to 911. One of the main characters, my personal favorite character, apparently, I recently had made the discovery that this is in fact my favorite character, Eddie Diaz, who was introduced in season 2, by the way. He has a son who is disabled, has cerebral palsy, and is played by an actor with cerebral palsy. And there's a lot of, like, casual disability representation, just, like, on the calls and such, but that is one of the things, too, where my partner is a certified disability support worker and works as a spec at EA, and so they actually really, like, that was one of the things they made note of when I started watching it, was that Eddie has a kid with cerebral palsy, and that they really appreciate that representation and the representation in the show. So, I'll trust their judgment that it does a pretty decent job with disability rep. They do have a canonical autistic character on one call that both of us hate, just because it's terrible autistic representation. We say that as both autistic people, and they say that as someone who works with autistic kids, that it's not good. But it's one episode, and also, like, honestly, in general, autistic representation is just, it kind of sucks. Though, to be honest, also, I'm not gonna go on a tangent from there. But Buck, well, he doesn't, like, canonically explicitly have ADHD. Someone in the fandom actually made a whole thread on why they thought that Buck had ADHD, one of the main characters in the show, by the way. And Oliver Stark, who plays Buck, actually saw it and then said, fully agreed with their assessment, and said that going forward, they're going to intentionally play Buck as being, like, having ADHD. As a person with ADHD, really appreciate that, and also, like, again, there's a lot of, like, things in storylines and with his character that is, like, yes, this is a character with ADHD. This is very clear. Also, like, half the characters didn't go to college, or dropped out of college, which I think is just really fun, because, like, there's like, a big narrative that you have to go to college to, make a living, and, like, a good chunk of these characters never did. And in fact, like, some of them don't use their degree, because what they went to college for, they just don't do in their regular jobs. So that's just, like, an interesting thing that they do in the show that I appreciate. As a 20-year-old who is still trying to figure out if I actually even want to attempt going back to school. Primarily because it's so fucking expensive, but, you know, also just, like, in general, like, is it for me? But it's fun and silly, but also heartbreaking and also kind of insane at the same time. And you honestly never know what you're getting into. Like, from one episode to the next, you never fucking know what's gonna happen. It really keeps you on your toes, and it keeps you entertained. I will say, and I say this every time I try to get people into the show, and every time I have gotten people into the show, season 5, is hard to get through. If you find that you get to season 5, and you're like, you want to quit, stick it. Just stick through it. I promise it gets better. All throughout watching season 5 for me, because I binged it, I just kept saying, the vibe is so off. It gets back on track, mostly by the end, mostly in season 6, though. Like, season 5 as a whole is just very off. But, yeah. That's me attempting to get you into 911. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is what I do. This is how I get people into 911, or convince people to watch 911, is I just yap. You're pansexual? No, I'm a frying pan. Yes, pansexual. Hey, I really never know with you. I thought today was Tuesday. No. Why? I don't know. It just felt like a Tuesday. Okay. It was the heat of the moment. So, like, what do you guys do for fun now? What? I would not ask him that. Why? This generation's insane. Trust me. What? Well, I mean, I guess there was the Tide Pod challenge. That was pretty crazy. The what? Yeah, I could do it because of my enhanced healing factor. But no one else should try it. Wait, what? I'm sorry, are you telling me you ate a Tide Pod? Yes. Why? Well, I was pretty sure that with my enhanced metabolism, it wouldn't hurt me. How sure is pretty sure? Like 75%? Tony, what are Tide Pods? There's this they're like little dish soap pods that you put in a dishwasher. Wait, don't tell me you didn't try to drink bleach to see if you could with your enhanced metabolism. I didn't. No? No, it didn't even cross my mind. What? Wait, did you drink bleach to see if you could? I plead the fifth. How does that apply here? I don't know, what else do you want me to say? Maybe explain why you have a death wish? Like, do you want a list? No. Well, for starters, the older generations destroyed the planet beyond repair, and there's nothing that I can do about it. No. If we're going over to more personal stuff, my uncle died when I had the power to stop that from happening, and I didn't. Wait. If we're going back to existential dread, my girlfriend is always preaching eat the rich, but I'm now best friends with the rich, so I feel conflicted. Wait, are you saying you're conflicted about eating me? I mean, sometimes you can't really ethically be a billionaire. Going back to overall childhood trauma, my parents died, and it makes me all too aware of my mortality every single day of my life. Tony. Yes? How about instead of putting your money into super suits for this kid, give him a therapist? Oh my god, and therapists are so expensive, and for what? I'm sorry, my brain is a mess. Like, I don't know. I feel like every so often I wonder, has my brain been through a blender? If you have concerns about your brain having gone through a blender, maybe you should ask me about that. Oh, and yeah, there's him. What did I do? Just knowing everything you've been through, and that's something that someone could just do, is kind of terrifying. Okay, Peter, no, that's fair, right? Alright, I'm gonna call my therapist, and you're gonna talk to her, okay, Peter? Sure, I mean, what can she do? Drop another roof on me? Drop a huh? Oh yeah, we haven't even started on mission trauma, have we? I'll be back.
Okay, we're attempting this. There's been some malfunctions. We're getting it this time, though. We're getting it this time. Boop. I don't know what my hair is doing. It's fine. I can't help it if I make a scene. Stepping out of my hot pink limousine. I'm turning heads and I'm stopping traffic. When I pose, they scream, and when I joke, they laugh. I've got a pair of eyes that you're getting lost in. I hypnotize by the way I'm walking. I've got them dancing like a stage magician. When I point, they look, and when I talk, they listen. Well, everybody needs a friend, and I've got you and you and you. So many I can't even name them. Can you blame me? I'm too famous. Haven't you noticed that I'm a star? I'm coming into view as the world is turning. Haven't you noticed I made it this far? Now everyone could see me burning. Now everyone could see me burning. Now everyone can see me burning. There we go.
You okay, Spidey? Yep, just been wearing my binder a little too long. Binder? You wear a binder under the Spidey suit? Yeah. Do you know how expensive top surgery is? I have an idea. Right, so binders it is. It's a safe one for physical activity, right? Yes. Every time you go out in the Spidey suit? Most of the time? Peter. What? They're expensive, and I don't always leave the house under the impression that I'm gonna be suiting up at any moment. You don't? Okay, maybe I do, but still. Your poor ribs! I have enhanced healing. They're fine. What happens if you get knocked out or kidnapped and you're out for several hours past when you should take it off? It sucks. It's happened? Spidey! What? That's not under my control. Why don't you use trans tape? What? Trans tape for binding. You can wear it for multiple days. It can get wet without it causing any harm to you, and you can work out in it. It would be a lot safer, especially for your poor ribs. Why are you so fixated on my ribs? Because I've broken a lot of ribs. I've bruised a lot of ribs. And I've healed a lot of broken and bruised ribs. It sucks. Okay, well, it's not like trans tape doesn't have its own issues. I mean, what about when it rips your skin off? The irritation caused to your skin compared to the damage to your ribs and lungs? Not proportional. Plus, even people with regular healing are good after a day or two with the salve they give you. Why do you know so much about this? You're not the only trans person I've dated, let alone the only trans person I know. Okay. Do you prefer the binding to trans tape, Peter? Well, no, especially not in the Spidey suit, but it's expensive. But you admit it's better. Yes, okay? I prefer it, but I told you. It's too expensive. More expensive than binders. A roll of trans tape is a similar price to a binder, and you can't reuse the tape. So, binders it is, and occasional damage to my ribs it is. Mm-hmm. What? What? What's that face you're making? I don't know what you're talking about. You're plotting. That's your plotting face. What are you thinking? Nothing. Wade? Spidey, you're early. What's going on, baby boy? Want to explain this? It's trans tape. Uh-huh. Want to explain why that showed up at my door today? You get a discount if you get a subscription. You got me a trans tape subscription? You're welcome. Wait!
Because Tim Drake is the Robin that everyone says that I am. Like, unprovoked. I started reading Batman Wayne Family Adventures yesterday. I get it. I get why so many people unprovoked have told me that I am Tim Drake over the years. I understand. Yes, smartass caffeine addict, but everything. He's just me. And like I said in that video, the canonically queer Robin. Of course, that's the one everyone compares me to, but oh my god. I'm like kind of mad how much I just am Tim Drake. And the amount of people that over the years, in that video, and just like randomly, like I said, unprovoked, over the years, who have said that I'm like Tim Drake and that I would do a really good Red Robin cosplay. And god damn it, now I kind of want to. But also, I literally have Jason Todd's hair. So, I'm understanding the Jason Todd hype too. But it's hilarious. I literally have his hair. But no, I am Tim Drake. Yep. Several things made this very clear to me, but episode 14 of Batman Wayne Family Adventures, Unaccompanied, where he's asking why he can't take his children, and he's like, oh, okay, Alfred is asking, he's like, what about Master Timothy? And there he is. And Alfred here says, in his defense, the boy had been awake for more than 36 hours. I literally just made a video about how people use the phrase pulling a comet to say that they were awake until ungodly hours of the night. I am Tim Drake. I simply just am. In the most... I can't even. Y'all have been, psychoanalyzing me by saying this for years, and I didn't even know. Holy shit. Again, my best friend was the first one to make this comparison, so I was probably, but to this extent is still surprising. So, what do you do for fun? Don't ask him that. Why? I don't know. Sometimes we throw shit at Kevin. Who's... Hey, Kevin. Cap! What? Why would you do that? Why would... He threw that at you! I told you not to ask him. I don't even know what's... Your name isn't Kevin. It doesn't matter. You asked him. You had the exact phrasing for it too. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Hi, I'm Comet, and today, by popular demand, which I actually mean, oddly enough, because I ran a poll asking you guys what video you wanted to see next. This was specifically on my channel on Instagram, so if you're not on there, go do that. I asked you what you wanted to see next between my AO3 Wrapped, my YouTube Q&A, and my next 911 reaction. I got 31 votes for the 911 reaction, 40 for the YouTube Q&A, and 159 for my 2024 AO3 Wrapped. So, we're doing this. Also, I'd like to make note of the fact that I have not made a PowerPoint since like 9th grade. So this is definitely going to be reflected in how this is executed, and I apologize. I had to rearrange some things really quickly, so lighting is a little different. Anyway, let's get into this. So, in 2024, I read 12,583,019 words of fanfiction. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be more, but I also read 92 books, and then some more data that'll come up in a second will also make it make a bit more sense. So, anyway, that is 34,474 average words per day. The shortest fic I read was 600 words. The longest fic I read, oh my god, can you see this? Please. The longest fic I read was 243,892 words. Average fic length is 29,468. Anyway, moving on. So, as you can see, I steadily read over 1 million words from January to July. This is something I already made a video about. And then, whatever the fuck happened in August to December. So, I have an idea of what kind of happened in those months that led to me not reading as many fanfictions. So it makes some amount of sense that it didn't end up being more than 12 million words. I think in 2023 I read more words than I did in 2024, but I didn't track it, so I can't actually say for sure, but anyway, in 2024, I read 427 fanfictions. That's about an average of 1.2 fics per day. That is 381 unique fics, 47 repeat fics, 326 of those fics I read for the first time, and 101 rereads. So, anyway, this is just a breakdown of the ratings of the fics that I read. As you can see, 61.7% of them were explicit. Not surprised by that at all. Okay. This graph was a total pain in my ass, so I have to go to the spreadsheet to actually show you what's happening here. There's the breakdown of archive warnings. Yeah, just a lot of no archive warnings, and creator chose not to use archive warnings. In that area, I'm not the most interesting or adventurous. So, we're back here. I hate how I'm like kind of slanted, but I literally don't know how to fix this at this point, especially because it's inverted. So, my top fandom was Captain America movies at 222 fics. At first, I was kind of surprised by it, but then I really thought about it, and I was reading Stucky fics from like January until May, when I started reading a lot of 911 fics, along with some other random fandoms here and there, but in those months. So my Stucky fixation feels like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't. Anyway, but my most read fandoms in the year are Captain America movies, Marvel Cinematic Universe, 911, The Avengers, Marvel movies, and Captain America all media types. I have not been able to figure out how to kind of group these fandoms together, especially for reading for Marvel, because for 427 fics,
I put down almost 800 fandoms because of the way that people tag Marvel fics. So, if anyone has any suggestions for how I can track that, let me know, because this is just a bit odd. Anyway, you can kind of see, oh my god, I'm never gonna figure this out. You can kind of see in this graph here, though, that, like, there was quite a few fandoms I was reading for. There were, you know, there's a few, and then, of course, there's a few outlier fandoms, whether it was because it was, like, an AU, or a fusion of the fandom, or just a random crossover here or there, or a random fandom I decided to read a couple fics for, because I thought it was going to be a fixation, and then, nope. So, my top relationship was Stucky, with 255 fics. Surprise to no one. I'm pretty sure in 2023, between, like, September to December, I read, like, 200. So. But then top 5, most read fics. You've got Stucky, as mentioned, with 255 fics. Buddy, with 119 fics. Spideypool with 22 fics, Adrian/Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug with 14 fics, and then Steve and Bucky platonically with 13 fics. My most read fic this year was No One Wants Your Opinion by The Pinup Chemist, which I read 4 times. I did not think that this was gonna be my most read fic this year. But then I thought about it, and I did reread a lot of fics, but didn't finish them, and therefore didn't input the data for them. So it feels like I read other fics more, but I guess this is what ended up being. Anyway, breakdown of my most read fics. I shit you not, you have No One Wants Your Opinion by The Pinup Chemist, which I read 4 times, and then the rest of these I read 3 times. So all of these made the list because it didn't really make sense to not include them. So, we've got No One Wants Your Opinion by The Pinup Chemist, Dishonor on Your Cow by Mandaru, Ain't Quite Pretty Woman by Orphan Account, If I'm Gonna Get Back to You Someday by Napricot, Nightlight, which is a fic I found through the Stucky library. It was posted on AO3 but then deleted, and so I found a PDF of it. So I tracked it as an AO3 fic, even though it technically isn't on AO3 anymore. Slip of the Tongue by This Wayward Life, Leading with the Left by Let Me Tell You About My Feels, and Friends by Becca Chaos. That is actually an entire series by Becca Chaos, but I reread the full series 3 times, and so I just put the series name as opposed to all of the fics names. Moving on. In 2024, I read a total of 256 unique authors. My top author was Always You, 28, with a total of 28 fics that I read. That's because they had a 28-part Stucky series that I read. So, anyway. My most read authors of 2024, Always You, 28, Becca Chaos, Let Me Tell You About My Feels, Polish Amber, Jillian Cares, and The Pinup Chemist. So, The Pinup Chemist was not a surprise to me in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, top AU. Now, I know this is not technically an AU, but when I was putting in all this data, it felt like it made the most sense to categorize it as an AU. So, top AU, Omegaverse with 72 fics. No, I'm not surprised. Moving on, after Omegaverse, my top AUs are Alternate Universe Canon Divergence, Alternate Universe Post Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Alternate Universe Modern Setting. Anyway, and I included a little bonus AU just because this is, again, not an AU, but kind of an AU, but it is specific to reading Marvel and specifically Stucky fanfiction, and I read more, if not the same amount, of these fics with these tags as I did the other AUs. So, this bonus AU is Captain America, Steve Rogers / Modern Bucky Barnes, aka Shrunky Clunks, and non-serum Steve Rogers / Winter Soldier Bucky, aka Shrinky Clinks. So,
49 of the fics I read had Shrunky Clunks tagged. 45 of the fics I read had Captain America Steve Rogers / Modern Bucky Barnes tagged. 37 had non-serum Steve Rogers / Winter Soldier Bucky tags, and 8 had Shrinky Clinks tags. Now the reason that I didn't group them together is because sometimes fic authors will tag both of these things. So I would say, especially for Shrunky Clunks, I'm probably read closer to 50-ish than like 90, just because there's a good chance that these people tagged Shrunky Clunks and Captain America Steve Rogers / Bucky / Modern Bucky Barnes. And then similar thing with Shrinky Clinks, where I probably read about 40-ish. So, anyway. After that, top character tags were Pre-Serum Steve Rogers with 47 fics, Winter Soldier Bucky with 35, Bottom Steve Rogers with 33 fics, Bottom Bucky Barnes with 31 fics, Top Bucky Barnes with 29 fics, Top Steve Rogers with 26 fics, and Post-Serum Steve Rogers with 25 fics. No, I will not elaborate further. The top tag I read this year was 77 fics. I'm not surprised about this. Again, 263 of the fics I read were explicit, and majority of the fics I read were for Achillean relationships, so yeah, this is not a shocker to me. Anyway, after that though, top tags are Fluff, Friends to Lovers, Slow Burn, Angst, and Getting Together, and I think that is absolutely hysterical when I consider the events of the year involving how I ended up dating my partner. Because I met them at the beginning of the year, we got together officially at the end of August. And, yeah, these 5 tags, Fluff, Friends to Lovers, Slow Burn, Angst, and Getting Together, if the story of how we got together was a fanfiction, all of those would apply. Anyway. This is just a little slide I made for funsies, just because I had this data. How many characters were trans? Because I project a lot. I thought it was actually going to be more than it was, but I still found it fun to track it either way. So, we had 10 trans Peter Parker fics, 10 trans male character tags, 3 trans character tags, 2 trans Evan Buckley tags, 2 trans Steve Rogers tags, plus 1 trans man Steve. It's different, but it's like similar. I did want it to be separate though, just because there was a distinction there. 2 non-binary Bucky Barnes fics, 1 trans Bucky Barnes tag, 1 genderqueer Bucky Barnes tag, 1 non-binary Wade Wilson tag, and 1 gender fluid character tag. The fact that the characters that were tagged as being trans the most were Peter Parker and Bucky makes so much sense. And I just thought that was silly, and I wanted to share. Anyway. And here's just some miscellaneous data for funsies, because it was just there, but it didn't really fit in any other category. Okay. So, I read and finished the most amount of fics on April 5th, which was 29 fics. Read the most amount of words on June 18th, which was 341,463. Again, this is an approximate, as it's just solely based on what fics I finished that day. I read the least amount on May 7th, with 2,970, again, and also not including the times where I just didn't read any fics. The average number of chapters in a fic I read was 5. The most amount of chapters was 74. 237 fics were one-shots. Though, that doesn't mean that it was a short fic, just that it only had 1 chapter. The first fic I read was a Stucky fic, and the last was a Gravity Falls Bilford fic. And Bill was trans in it, but it wasn't tagged. Anyway. That was my 2024 AO3 wrapped. I will not be saying any more on that. I mean, you can ask some questions, but the likelihood of me elaborating on any of what I've said in this video is pretty small. Here's to another year of chaos.
Hope you enjoyed that.
Hit it like rum pom pom. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on.